Hi, I'm Jason Colavito, and I'm going to talk to you today a bit about my experiences with alternative history and ancient America. One of the things I most remember about being a kid is my developing an excitement and a passion for ancient history. Now, this was the mid 1990s when alternative history was all the rage. Graham Hancock's Fingerprints of the Gods had just come out, and everything from the Discovery Channel to National Geographic, everyone was talking about the idea of alternative history, whether the Sphinx was thousands of years older, whether people had come from the old world to the new and had invaded America and were responsible for early American civilization. So, when I was a teenager, I asked my parents if we could go see Mystery Hill, now known as America's Stonehenge, the site in New Hampshire that supposedly was the remains of an ancient stone circle calendar, perhaps, maybe the remains of an Irish settlement, or Druids, or something far older. So, one hot summer day, we all got in the car, and we traveled from our hometown in central New York all the way up to New Hampshire. We had relatives there, so it was a combination trip. And we went out to America's Stonehenge. I got out of the car and I was so excited. I was going to see an actual megalithic site, the only one, supposedly, in the United States. So we went up into the park and saw Mystery Hill. And I can't say that it was quite what I had expected. The stones were so small. Everything was so tiny. From the photographs, I had expected something that was like Stonehenge. Big, reaching up into the sky, the kind of thing that you would walk up to and look up in awe. And instead I kept looking down at the ground where all these tiny stones were and thinking to myself, this is exactly as advertised. But the tour guides and the visitor center insisted that this was a megalithic site, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go with this. And, though I probably shouldn't tell you this, I actually sneaked through and got a photograph of myself laying on the sacrificial table, they call it. It's a big slab of rock with a little drainage ditch around it. And there I am, laying there like a human sacrifice in a photograph. And it was all overall a fun day, but in the back of my mind there was this nagging feeling that something wasn't quite right. How is it that this collection of rocks, so small and so unimpressive, somehow captured the imagination of alternative history writers all over the world? And it was one of those things that gradually ate away at what had originally been a deep-seated belief in alternative history. So, over time, the more I studied and the more I learned, the more I came to realize that the claims of alternative history were not exactly what they were made out to be. But that didn't dampen my interest. Although the facts say that alternative history is wrong, what really interests me are the stories behind it. Not the stories of the Phoenicians and the Vikings and the Israelites and whoever else supposedly came to ancient America, but the stories of why people believe that these stories are true. What is it about alternative history that makes people want to believe? What needs does it fulfill? That's what really interests me. And I enjoy learning about why people believe what they do, and what it gives to them, about the passion that they feel for alternative history. And in the end, by doing that, I learn something not just about alternative history and about real history, but also about myself.